Faith or works? We're going to take a look at that together starting right now. Welcome friends to the HomeGrown Ministries YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, I'm DJ, and on this channel I strive to provide you with biblical wisdom and encouragement to strengthen your walk of faith. So if you like what you see here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so that way you don't miss any content in the future, and it honestly helps out the channel a great deal. Guys, if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your views, your comments, your likes, your shares. Appreciate all that you do for spreading the good news of the gospel with me. So I was reading in the Gospel of Luke today, and I came across two verses that really struck me. So there's always this argument about faith versus works. And I am a faiths guy. If you've watched any of my videos, I don't believe your works save you. It's Jesus plus nothing equals salvation. So it's not Jesus plus baptism, it's not Jesus plus communion, it's not Jesus plus the good deeds you do or your community service, it's Jesus plus nothing equals salvation. But I always also say that because you are saved through your faith, it's going to produce works. Because you will be a changed person. You'll be a new life in Christ. Because someone has died for you, and you owe that person everything, and that person is God. And God is calling you to live a different way. And the reason for that is so that way when people look at you, they're directed to God. If they look at you and see just another member of the world, they're not going to be changed. They're not going to be led to see or find God. But if they knew you and they knew that you lived a different life and now you're completely different, that's going to make them question, well, what happened? What changed? So I do truly believe faith produces works. And they're tied together very much so. But I want to share these two verses with you because they're from the Gospel of Luke, and really they just hit home with me today. So the first verse comes from the scenario where Jesus is eating at a Pharisee's house, and a woman of the night has come to see Jesus, and she's weeping at his feet and wiping his feet with her hair, and then she pours perfume on his feet. And the Pharisee doesn't understand this, and he says, "Do you know who's touching you? You shouldn't associate yourself with people like that." And so that's what he's getting at. So Jesus responds by essentially saying those who need real forgiveness, those who understand their need for forgiveness, are really thankful and truly love him. Okay, so that's his response. But what Jesus says to the woman is this. It comes from Luke chapter 7, verse 50. He says, Jesus said to the woman, "Your faith has saved you. Go in peace." Now before I talk about that, let's look at the second verse. So the second verse, to give you context, this is coming from a scenario in the Bible where Jesus is walking from one area to another. There's a large crowd around him, and as he's walking in this crowd, a woman comes up who has had a medical condition, and she grabs his robe because she knows that if she touches him, that she'll be healed. And so then she is healed as soon as she touches him. And Jesus essentially calls out to the crowd, making this a scene so that way people can see that he has healed someone based on her faith. So then he looks at the woman, and this is what he says. This comes from Luke chapter 8, verse 48. It says, "Then he said to her, 'Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace.'" And here's what's so cool about this. Jesus is telling them what saved them was their faith. But guess what? Both of these women had their faith lead them to action. So the woman from chapter 7, because she has such great faith, because she believes that Jesus can forgive her of her sins, she worships him. And because of the faith with action, she is saved. But Jesus doesn't point out the action. Jesus doesn't say, "Woman, your works with faith have saved you." He just says your faith has saved you. Same thing with chapter 8. In chapter 8, he doesn't say, "Daughter, your works have healed you." He says, "Your faith has healed you." But it was her faith that caused her to grab his robe, believing that she would be healed. Because faith always leads to action. So as James says, "Show me your faith, and I'll show you my faith through my works. Your faith will produce works. Now, I'm sure someone has pointed this out before, but I've never heard this before. It's something that just came to me in my study tonight, and it was just really, really cool, and I had to share it with you. So sorry I didn't do a Bible study video, but I really wanted to share this with you because it really encouraged me. Hopefully it encourages you tonight. If you gain something from that, or if you think I misspoke or there's something that I could have said better, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And Christian friends, please continue to be the salt to the earth, be the light to the world. Go encourage someone else today because the world desperately needs it. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.